A very good morning, students. So we have completed the animal kingdom chapter, and now we are proceeding to another new chapter, that is the tissue level of organizations. We studied the phylums of the Animalia kingdom, and there are three levels of organizations that are important that we studied. One is the cellular level, tissue level, organ and organ system level of organizations. And in this chapter and the following chapter, we are going to focus on the tissues of the various organs, that is the tissue level of organizations. And the second one is the certain organism which possess organ and organ system of organizations. So in this chapter, we will first study detailedly about the different tissues and their organizations. Okay, so now the tissue level of organization, when you talk in animal tissues, you have to understand what the tissues are. We know the tissues are the group of cells. It is group of cells. So the group of cells are called tissues. Now these group of cells involves or it will perform very similar functions. So a group of cells which perform similar functions are called as tissues. Okay, so if this is what the tissue is, the group of cells does a similar function. The study related to these tissues are called as histology. Histology means the study related to tissues are called histology. Okay, now when you talk about the tissues are of various types. So we will discuss now the various types of tissues. Now the first tissue is called as the epidermal tissue. Epidermal tissue. We call this epidermal tissue as epidermis or even epithelial tissue. The other name for this epidermal is called epithelial tissues. Okay, or epidermis. Now this epidermal tissue is present on two areas, that is, it is on the outer covering as well as inner covering of an organ. If any organ, if you take that organ, outer part as well as the inner part is covered by this epidermal cells. Okay, so body organ, if you talk about any body organ, this body organs will be covered outside as well as inside by this epidermal tissues. Okay, so that is what the epidermal tissues are. And second, where it is also located in the outer part of the skin. The skin is made up of epidermal tissues. Okay, so the skin is made up of epithelial tissue or epidermal tissue. So that is the importance of this epidermis. Okay, now if this epidermis is present outside the organ, the function of this outside gives protection. So epidermal tissue which is present outside the body organ or the skin, it involves in the protection function. Now second one, it is involved in the inner. If the epidermal tissue is present inner of this organ or lining this inner organ, it involves two functions. One is called the secretion. Secretion means here enzyme is secreted, hormone is secreted. So it involves the secretion as well as absorption. Any organ, that absorption will be done by this kind of epidermal tissues. So even in the digestive system, absorption of nutrition is done by this kind of inner layer of the epidermis. So outer layer gives you protection, inner layers involving in secretion, absorption, and even excretion is also done. Excretion, and kidney, it involves in filtration. Okay, filtration. And sometimes this will act as a sensory organs, that is the skin involved in the sensory. So this is the importance of this epidermal tissues. So epidermal tissue is the first form of the tissue, and it is also called as epithelial tissue. It is situated on the outer and inner layer of the organs. Any organ is made up of outer layer is also epidermis, inner is also epidermis, as well as the skin. Now the outer gives protection, inner layer involves in secretion, absorption, excretion, filtration, and sensory. So this is the epidermal tissues. Now the second tissue is the connective tissue. This is the second one. The second one we will talk here is the connective tissue. Connective tissue. Now the connective tissue means it connects. So it has two things. It has the cell as well as the matrix. So it has the cell plus the matrix. Now the cell which is attached to this matrix, based on this connective tissue has been classified now. Okay, cells along with the matrix. Now if when you talk about, if this is the connective tissue, the cell which is embedded in the matrix, the first part here we will talk about, if the cell is loosely arranged on the connective tissue, on the matrix, it is called loose connective tissue. Okay, so connective tissue is depend upon the arrangement of cell on the matrix. If the cells are loosely arranged, it is called loose connective tissue. Okay, so where can you find the location of this? So location. So the location of this is, you can find it on the alveolar or the areolar region, as well as you can find on the adipose tissue. Adipose, where the fat will be stored. So this tissue is called adipose tissue. So loose connective tissues are present on the areolar as well as the adipose tissue. This is the first one. Second one here we talk about, this is one part of the tissues, right? So second one here it is, the cells are arranged in the matrix on the fibrous, in the form of fibrous. So a fibrous connective tissue. Fibrous connective tissue are presented on, location is, blood is a fibrous connective tissue, lymph is a fibrous connective tissue. Okay, and the third one here, it is, the cells are compactly arranged. So it is called compact connective tissue. Compact means tight, there is no gap in it. So this can be found on bones and cartilages. Bones and cartilages. Cartilages means a soft bones, a fragile bone. Okay, so in these two areas, this connective tissues are being classified. So connective tissue is classified based on the arrangement of cell on the matrix. If it is loose, it is called loose connective tissue. If it is fibrous, called fibrous. Then if it is arranged compactly or tightly, it is called compact connective tissue. Understand? And the third one here, it is, the third tissue is the muscular tissue. The third one is the muscular. Now the muscular is further classified into three types. That is skeletal muscular tissue. The first one is called skeletal muscular tissue, and the second one is called smooth. Some smooth organs are made up of smooth muscle, like stomach, esophagus and all. Then heart is made up of cardiac muscle. So now these are all the muscular tissues. That is the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscles. Okay, so this is important in classifying these tissues. The number one is epidermal tissue, number two is connective tissue, and number three is muscular tissue. And finally, the fourth one is the neuronal tissue. The fourth one is called the nervous tissue. Now in the nervous tissue, it is an important role in the nervous tissue is conduction of electrical impulses. So electrons are being conducted. So electrons are being conducted. So conduction of electrical impulses. Clear? So electrons are being conducted through this kind of a nervous tissue, and this is either in the two forms. It is having in two forms. One is called the neurons. One is the neurons, and the second one here, it is the other glue-like substance is called glia. So glia is a glue-like substances, and this glia will attach all the neurons together. Okay, so it is a glue-like cells, holds all the neurons together, as well as the neuron and blood vessel is also connected. Why? To supply nutrition to the neuron. Blood vessel and the neuron are interrelated by this glia. Understand? So these are all the basic classification regarding the tissues. Every tissue we will study in detail in the following classes. So we have all this picture, a flow chart explains the entire tissues of the animal. So we have epidermal tissue, we have connective tissue, muscular tissue, and the nervous. Each one is classified into different types, and all that now we will study in detail. We will study in detail about this epidermal tissues. Epidermal tissues. Right. So now, you know what is this epidermal tissue? No, here the epidermal tissues are the layers which is present on outer as well as inner of an organ, or it is skin. So this epidermal cells, the cells are compactly packed. The nature of the cells are cells compactly packed. Compactly packed means it is tightly packed. Okay, so if it is tightly packed, there is no intracellular fluids. No intracellular fluids. The fluids are not present in this because all the cells are compactly packed. Okay, so that is number one. Second, if the structure, if you can see from, actually this is the structure of this epidermal cells. So this is the structure. When you look from the top, this epidermal tissue will look like this. It is compactly packed, there is no gap, and it is having a proximal nucleus in the center, and all these are situated or seated on a membrane below it. This membrane is called the basement membrane. This membrane is called the basement membrane. Now, there is a reason why this epidermal tissue is situated on the or seated on the base of the basement membrane. Now, if you can see the nucleus are very prominent. It is in the center. Okay, and the cells are very compactly packed. Right. So now, all the epidermal tissue will rest on this basement membrane, which is, this basement membrane is not cellular membrane. It is not cell. So it is non-cellular membrane. So this may be asked for a 1 mark question. Which membrane is a non-cellular? This is a cell, group of cells. But the group of cells are tissues or situated on or sitting on the basement membrane, which is called non-cellular membrane. Okay, it is a jelly-like substances. So it is non-cellular. So how it looks? It looks like a jelly like substances. Okay, right. So now this jelly like substances is acting as a basement membrane. Why? Because this will be supplying nutrition to this epidermal cells. Okay, so this basement membrane will be supplying, because there is no blood vessel connected to this, so that the nutrition has to be supplied. So since there is no blood vessel directly connected to this, the basement membrane will supply nutrition to this epidermal tissues. Understand? That is the reason all the epidermis, whenever you study epidermis, it will be situated or seated on the basement membrane. Understand? Right. So it is very important. Now if you can see this cell, always this epidermal tissue will have a free surface on outer and inner region. So it is having free surface on both. Free surface will be found on the outer as well as inner areas. So if this is an organ, this is an outer area, it is having epidermal tissue, then here it is in between, then in inner also it is having epidermal. So free surface is free. Okay, so that is what the second part of it. The first one, the cells are compactly packed, so there is no intercellular fluid. Second one is free surface on the outer and inner. Now this epidermal tissue has been classified based on the arrangement of the layers. Now this is classified into two types. Which one? This epidermal tissue is classified into two types. The number one is, it is simple epithelium. It is simple epithelium. And the second one is compound epithelium. The compound epithelium is also called as stratified. Stratified epithelium. Now simple epithelium means a single cell is arranged. Cells are arranged in a single layer. So this is, now you can see the cells are arranged in the single layers with a prominent nucleus. This is simple epithelium. Whereas compound epithelium, stratified means, strata means layers. It is made up of many layers like this. It is made up of many layers. So this is what, and having the prominent nucleus. So the arrangement of the cells. So if the cells are arranged in single layer, it becomes simple epithelial tissue. If it is become arranged in multi layers, it is called compound epithelial tissue. Okay, and one more also will be there, that is called transitional. Actually this is a major one, simple and compound. One more additional, a special type, it is called transitional. Transitional epithelium. Transitional epithelium means multi-layer only, but when it stretches, it becomes single layer. Okay, so it is multi-layer, but when it stretches, it becomes single layer. That we will talk later. Single layer. Okay, right. So these three things are important regarding this epidermal tissues. So epidermal tissue, two types, simple and compound. Okay, so this is important. Now one more thing I will add it to you, the shape of this, and then I will just complete this part of it. Now the cell shape, there are three cell shapes are there. That is, first one is the flat. The diagram, actually this is the flat cell with the nucleus. Here the nucleus is normal. Normal means it is in the center. And second one, this flat is also called as squamous. Squamous epithelium. Squamous. And the second one is cuboidal. Cuboidal, the cell is present in the form of a cube-like shape. Cube. And here also the nucleus is normal. The third one is columnar. Cell looks like a column, and the nucleus is found on the base. Okay, nucleus is found on the base. Now, depending upon this, shape of the cell, it is based on the types, based on the shape. Now the epithelial tissues are classified as, if it is single layer, it is called simple, fat or squamous. You can call it as simple squamous epithelium and simple cuboidal epithelium, simple columnar epithelium. If it is multi-layer, you can call it as stratified or compound squamous epithelium, stratified cuboidal epithelium, stratified columnar epithelium. Clear? So these things now we will discuss. Epidermal tissues. When we talk about simple epidermal tissue, cell in single layer. Okay? So very important, two words that you have to understand. In simple, the arrangement of the cells are in single layer. Cells are in single layer. Okay. Second one, the cells will be very thin. These two things you have to understand regarding this simple epithelial tissues. And where it is located, the location of this simple epidermal tissues, actually it is found on the organs of absorptions. So which organ is undergoing absorption here? The digestive organs are undergoing absorptions, and even in the renal tubule certain things are being absorbed. So it is found on the organ of absorption. It is also found on the organs of secretion. Secretion means enzymes, salivary gland, pancreases, so enzyme secretions, hormone secretions, all the hormones, and even in the organs of filtration like kidneys. So in this, the simple epidermal tissues are being found on the absorption organ, secretions and filtrations. So that is number one. So this is important regarding this simple epithelium. Now this simple epithelial tissue is classified into three types as we already studied. So what are those three types? One is, if the cell arrangement is flat, it is called squamous, simple epithelium. If the cell arrangement is the form of a cuboid, it is called cuboidal, simple epithelium. If the cell arrangement is in the form of a column, it is called columnar, simple epithelium. So based on this, it is being based on the shell shape, it is being classified into three types. Okay, squamous, cuboidal and columnar. First we will study about this squamous, then we will go for this cuboidal and columnar. Now when you talk about these squamous epithelial structures, the diagram part of this columnar squamous, it is cells are flattened like this. Cell are flattened and the nucleus is very prominent, big nucleus. Okay, this is the structure of this squamous epithelial structure. Single layer, cell is single layer, but cell is flattened. Okay, and prominent nucleus. Then these cells will have some irregular boundaries. Irregular boundaries, when you look from the top view, it is like polyhedral in shape like this. So it is having irregular boundaries. So these are all very important regarding the squamous epithelium. I will just take down this two, and timing I will just write the points for squamous epithelium. The squamous epithelium, the cell arrangement is single layer. Cell is single and it is very thin layer. Number two, and the nucleus is very prominent nucleus, and it is having irregular boundaries. Okay, so these are all very important points regarding the squamous epithelial tissues. Now the location of it, where it is located. So all these locations are important. I will just tell you how to remember also this later on after completing the entire epidermis tissues. Now the location of this is actually two things you remember. One is the lungs and the esophagus. So these two areas only this simple squamous epithelium will be presented. Okay. So now we will talk about this in different angle. So first one is the alveoli. Alveoli, it is there in the lungs for gases exchange. If this is the alveoli, it is made up of a cell called squamous, simple squamous epithelium for the exchange of gases. This is number one. Okay, right. Second one, so this is A, number one. Then second one, it is present in the some organs like filtering organs. It is in the sense some lining of the capillaries. Lining of capillaries. Here also in capillaries means the exchange of the blood from materials from the blood to the tissues. So lining of capillary is also made up of this kind of a squamous epithelium. So blood transfer of the material from the blood to the tissues. Okay, and the third one is even it is there on the glomerulus of the kidney. Glomeruli of the kidneys for filtration purposes. Okay, so then it is also on the lining of the heart lining as well as some blood vessels. All these are being lined up with this squamous epithelium. Okay, so very important. Now the function is, I told you already, it is acting as a diffusion, that means absorption as well as filtration part of it. So this is all very important. So in all these organs like alveoli, exchange of gas takes place. So that means it is also involving in taking of the oxygen and giving it up. Capillaries, some absorption, filtration will be there, and some secretions. So all these are the organs where, so lungs and esophagus are mainly you have to focus on this particular 1 mark based questions. Okay, so this is important. Clear? So this is epidermal tissue of simplest. End of this epidermal tissues, I will just tell you how to remember these examples also. Clear? Right. So this is the simple squamous epidermal tissues. Second one, we will talk about the cuboidal. Second one is the cuboidal epithelial tissues. So where it is located, actually you have to remember it is on the inside the kidneys. So this you have to understand regarding the 1 marks, like lungs and esophagus. Here we are going to talk mainly on the kidneys. Okay, so now here the structure is actually, it is cube like structures, cube shaped. So this is the cube shaped cells and the nucleus is prominent. Okay, so here it is again the single layer of cells are arranged in single layers and it is in the form of a cuboid. Now the main functions of this cuboidal cells are, there are two main functions. One is again absorptions as well as secretions. Absorptions and secretions. Now, so where or it is located, locations where it is present. So the first one, it is present on the gonads. Gonads means male testes, female ovaries. So here it is presented on the ovaries in female, male it is in the seminiferous tubules. Okay, seminiferal tubules. This is first one. And this one, if the same cuboidal epithelial cells, this is a cuboidal epithelial cells, if it is having some hair-like growth, this is called cilia. So if it is having cilia, it is called as ciliated cuboidal epithelial cells, epithelial tissues. Okay, so ciliated if it is having cilia. Remember one mark question, simple epithelium will not have the cilia, whereas cuboidal as well as columnar will have this ciliated. So remember C is for ciliated as well as you can talk for cuboidal and columnar. Okay, so this is important. So now here we have, first one is gonad, and second one, if it is having cilia, it is called ciliated. And the main function of this ciliated cuboidal is conduction. So conduction means it will conduct here in seminiferal tubules, sperm conduction, ovum will be conducted. So it is involved in conduction. This is one. And second one, it is also where it is located, the ciliation. I'll just write it here. So it is location. The location of this ciliated cuboidal epithelium. It is located on the respiratory tract. Respiration. So it is located on the respiration means respiratory tract, you remember, okay? So it is there on the respiratory tract location. And in the kidney tubules, in kidney tubes, it is present. So all the kidney tubes, this kind of ciliated cuboidal epithelium is there for conduction purposes. So it is there in the gonad. That is, in gonads we have the cuboidal cells. If it is ciliated, it is presented in the respiratory tract as well as it is in the kidney tubules, and even some secretion part of the small glands. Some glands, in small glands it is being presented. Okay, this is regarding this ciliated. So two locations we studied. One is for cuboidal, second one is for ciliated cuboidal, and the third one is non-ciliated, if it is not having any cilia, non-ciliated epithelium, cuboidal epitheliums. So non-ciliated cuboidal epithelium, most of it is found on the most of the digestive tract. It is there on the digestive tract, number one. Second, on the gallbladder. So in these areas, this kind of a non-ciliated will be there. So digestive tract and the gallbladder. So this is what the cuboidal epithelial tissues are. Columnar epithelium or epithelial tissues. Here you can remember the intestine. So why I am just highlighting this is important. When exams point of view, it is important. So it is intestine. It is major it is present. So you remember intestine. Okay. So now the columnar epithelial tissue, the diagram part of it is looking like column shape. So this is the column, this is column like, and the nucleus is found on the base. So the nucleus found on the base part of it. Okay, right, that is important. Now it is single layer tall cells. The nucleus will be oval shape. Nucleus is oval and the cells are tall cells. Now where it is located, the locations. Now when you talk about the location, it is there on the lining the digestive tract. That means from, it is there on the stomach to rectum. So from the stomach to the rectum we have columnar epithelial tissues. That is number one. Clear? Next one, same columnar cells. I told you columnar cells are having cilia. So the same cell, if it is having growth hair-like structure called cilia, it is called ciliated columnar epithelial tissues. Columnar epithelial tissues, if it is ciliated. Okay. Now, if this is present, it is located on, very important, that is the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube of the female for conduction of the ovum. Okay, so there you will find ciliated columnar epithelial tissues. And second one, even in the nephron, that means in the kidney tubules. So it is there on the nephron tubules. So all that you will have the cilia. Then this is one part of it. Then second here, even if it is having another structure like this, and instead of the cilia, if it is having the finger-like structures like this is called the microvilli. Okay, finger-like structures, microvilli. or even you will call it as it is on the apical, on the surface, on the free surface you will find some finger like projection. So this is called brush border cells. It looking like brush bordered cells. Okay, so this cell is called brush border cells. Brush bordered cells. Okay, so it is present, so it is like finger like projections. Now where this kind of locations cells are located, tissues are located, it is located on the absorptive cells. Absorptive cells, any cell that is involving in absorption, it is. And the second one is intestine. So both goes together. In intestine only, small intestine only absorption takes place. That is why I have given intestine. And second one is PCT, proximal convoluted tubules. It is there in the nephron. So PCT, proximal convoluted tubules. So this is what the columnar cells are. Okay. So one more part that we will add along with this epidermal tissues. Third one in this columnar epithelium tissue is globular cells. So first one we studied the columnar cells, and second in that we studied the ciliated. Second one is brush border, and the third one is globular. So here it is present on the secretion cells. So it acts on the gland cells for secretion. So where it is present, it is there on the cells which is secretion. So secretions of these cells. Wherever cell it is secretion, there you will have this globular cells. So what kind of a secretion? It is secrete a kind of a substance is called mucus. Mucus is a substance which is involving in lubrication. So there is a mucus layer in the digestive tract where the food particles are being swallowed and connected by the process called lubrication. So this globular cells. So how the globular cell is looking? It is in the form of like this. So this is actually a columnar cell which is having the nucleus here, and this will be having the globular cells for secretion. So it is having a structure like this. So this is what the globular cells are. Okay. So where it is situated? It is situated in the stomach. I told you stomach is lined with the mucous membrane for lubrication, as well as in the intestine. So in these two areas you will find this globular cells. Clear? So that means the entire process of this epidermal or epithelial tissue involved in the function of absorption of the nutrition of various products, as well as the secretion. Secretion means it will secrete either enzymes or the mucus. So that is the overall things regarding this epidermal tissues. Okay, in that epidermal we concentrated on simple epidermal tissues, and in that simple epidermal tissue three things we have studied: cuboidal, squamous and columnar. And next we have to concentrate on the compound epithelial tissue. Okay, second part of this epidermal tissue that we will concentrate here is the compound or stratified. Compound, or they are called as stratified epithelial tissues. Compound or stratified. So what is this compound? You know, the cells arrangement is in the multi-layers. So this is the compound epithelial tissue. The cell arrangement will be in the multi-layers, like this, multi-layers. Okay. Now I can even write it. So before that, the main function of this compound or striated epithelial tissue is to protect against. It gives a protection. It gives protection against two things: against any chemical or even some mechanical stress. Mechanical stress. So it will give protection against any chemical or mechanical stress. So that means where it is located. So this compound or stratified epithelial tissues are located on the dry surface of the skin. Dry surface of skin. So the skin has been protected by this multi-layer from the chemicals or any mechanical stress. And even it is present on the moist surface of the buccal cavity. It is there on the moist surface of the buccal cavity. Number 2. Third one, it is on the pharynx, in the throat area. Pharynx. And finally it is there on the inner lining of certain glands called salivary glands as well as pancreases. Salivary and pancreas glands, it is there. So this is where the locations are: on the dry surface of the skin, moist surface of the buccal cavity, pharynx, inner lining of the salivary as well as the pancreatic or pancreasis gland. Now the limited role in the secretion, they have a very limited role in secretion and absorption, because most of the secretion and absorption are done by the simple epithelial tissue because it is very thin. But whereas in compound, this kind of absorption and secretions are not that much. It is very limited because it is thick layers. So it is, the major role is only for the protection purposes. Understand, right? So this is also being classified into 3 types. That is stratified squamous epithelium, 3 types. One is called the compound or otherwise called as stratified. If the cell is flat, it is the squamous epithelium. If it is cuboidal, it is called stratified cuboidal. If it is again a columnar, it is stratified columnar epithelium. Okay, so this 3 we will talk now and we will complete this part. Compound or striated epithelial tissues. Now the first one we will talk about the squamous epithelium. First one in this. In this we will talk about the squamous. So stratified epithelium. Squamous stratified epithelium or stratified squamous epithelium. Here it is, as we know, the arrangement of the cells like this. This is the arrangement of the cell. The cells are flat but it is multi-layer. But where it is being located on the basement membrane, because I already told you the epidermal tissue means it will be situated or jelly-like substances on the basement membrane. Now based on this is being, the squamous is classified into 2 types. The squamous epithelial tissue is classified into 2 types based on the deposition of the keratin. Deposition of keratin on the cells. If the keratin is deposited, these squamous cells are called keratinized. If it is not deposited, they are called non-keratinized. Okay, if it is deposited, it is called keratinized. If it is not, it is called non-keratinized. So here keratinized will be deposited. Where? On the upper surface. Deposited on upper surface. But here not deposited. So where is the location? So if the keratin is there, where can you find? You can find on the palm. So palm of our hand is having keratin, that is why it is very thick, and on the skin it is keratinized, and the skin only it is called dry epidermis. Okay, but whereas here non-keratinized, they don't have. So the location here it is there on the cornea. Cornea is in the eye, human eye. Then it is on the inner lining of the lips. Inner lining of lips. Then third one, it is on the foreskin, that means on the tip of the penis. Then even in the vagina it is located, and it is also present on the anus. Then even sometimes it is there on the cervix, and even it is located on the esophagus. So these are all the locations of the keratinized layers. Okay, so simple squamous, stratified squamous epithelial tissues, based, it is classified into two types based on the deposition of the keratin. If the keratin is present, it is called keratinized. If the keratin is not deposited, it is called non-keratinized. Okay, so this is one part of it. So squamous is over. Next we will study about the cuboidal. One is the stratified cuboidal epithelial tissues. So stratified or compound cuboidal epithelial tissues. So here the name comes because of the lower arrangement of the cells. So now this is the basement layer. Okay, this is the basement layer, and on this basement layer the cells, first it will be cube-like shapes, cube-like. Okay, and it is having the nucleus. Then later on when it becomes flattened like this, it becomes flattened. So here the basic is actually cuboidal. So based on that only it gets that name called cuboidal name. Okay, so the name is given only because of the lower arrangement. So now where it is located, the location of this cuboidal, the location is, it is located on the ducts of, that means the tubes of the salivary glands. So all the salivary gland ducts will be having this kind of a cuboidal stratified epithelial tissues. Then second one, it is on the mammary gland, milk producing glands, and the third one is sweat gland. Okay, and fourth one, even it is present on the pancreatic ducts. So all these areas it is being presented. Okay, locations. And the third one here, so third one we will talk here, it is the cuboidal is over, so it is called the columnar stratified epithelial tissues. So here the same, the diagram part of it, basement membrane, the first arrangement, underlayer of the cell looks like column, then it is changed into cube shaped, then it is becoming flattened. So based on the lower shell it is being getting those names. Now this locations where it is located, the location of this columnar stratified epithelium, it is the area where the more friction is there. So for an example, it is on the conjunctiva and this side the eyes. Okay, then it is there on the anus is also having more friction. Then on the lumen of the pharynx, throat, where you swallow food and all. Then male urethra will have frictions. Then some glandular ducts. So all these are important. Okay, so that's all about the compound or stratified epithelial tissues. Now we will talk some special type of this compound epithelium, that also we will discuss now. So two special type of compound cells that we will talk. One is called pseudo stratified ciliated compound or columnar epitheliums. So this is a special type. So pseudo means false, stratified means layer, ciliated, it's an hair-like growth which is present on the columnar epithelial tissues. This is a special type of layers arrangement. So it is presented on the respiratory tract. It is on the respiratory tract, and the cell here, it is unequal in size. The cells are unequal in size. And although it is single layer, it appears like a multi-layer. Okay, so this statement is very important. Although it is single layer, how it appears? It appears like multi-layers. How it appears like multi-layers? Because of the nuclei that is lying at the different levels, lying in the different levels. Okay, so for an example, this is the cells like this. The nucleus will be arranged in this different layers. Okay, so since it's single layer but appears like a multi-layer. If cilia is present, it is called ciliated. Cilia means here it is having this kind of a growth. Cilia is present. So now, if the cilia is there, it is called ciliated, pseudostratified. Okay, so ciliated means where it is found. It is found on the, I told you, on the respiratory tract. So where that, especially on the upper respiratory tract, that is called the trachea. Trachea is the upper respiratory tract. Okay, 1 mark question, upper respiratory tract. If the cilia is not present, it is called non-ciliated, and this is being found on the male vas deferens. Clear? Right. Now sometimes it is having here, if the cell is like this, it is having a kind of a growth like this. So this is called stereocilia. So if it is having stereocilia, it is called with stereocilia. The stereocilia, it is found on the layers called, on the area called, especially in the male, that is called epididymis. It is there on the epididymis. It is there on the male urethra. Male urethra. Okay, our male urethral tract, everything, and even some large duct it is present. Some large ducts. It's being present. Okay, so this is one type of a special ciliated pseudostratified columnar epithelium. And one more we will discuss, and then we will complete this epidermal tissues. Now here I told you one more a special cell, that is called transitional epithelial cells. So what is this transitional epithelium? Transitional epithelium is a multi-layer. As I told you, when it becomes stretched out, it becomes a single layer. So it becomes single. So when it becomes stretched, when it becomes a multi-layer to single layer, it becomes stretched out. Okay, so when it's stretched. For an example, the urinary bladder. See, actually, this is the first layer. This is the first layer, and this is the blue color is the second layer. Okay, then one more layer you will have. So like this you will have multi layers. Now inside the urinary bladder, when the urine is filled up, it will get stretched. So this black part, this black cell will move here, the top one, and the below one also will move like this, and there's a gap in between. So here the blue color will get fit. So this is how it looks like, single layer. So when in the urinary bladder, when the urine is filled up, it gets stretched out, so it becomes multi-layer, is converted into single layer. Understand? Right. So now it is having 3 zones. It is having 3 zones. So with that we will complete 3 zones. The first zone is lower layer. Lower. The first zone is called the lower zone. This lower. In this lower zone, the function of this lower zone is the attachment this with the basement membrane. I told you everything will be attached to the basement. So this is a basement membrane. Okay, so it is for the attachment with the basement membrane. Okay, this is attached to the basement. So this is the first layer, and it is not only for attachment, some new cells also will be added, new upper, so new cells added. This is the lower layer, first zone, lower zone. Second zone is the middle zone. Now the middle zone function is secretion. The main function is the secretion. The middle one will secrete. Okay, so what it secretes? It secretes keratin. It secretes some keratins. Okay, and it has some fibers, tono fibers, so that's all not discussed in the book, so leave it. And it is also called as middle, or even you can call this layer as an intermediate layer. It is in between. And the third one is the upper zone. Third one is the upper layer or upper zone. Now the main function of the upper zone is, it is superficial layer. That means always the cells will undergo, here it is undergoing damage. So cells undergoing damage and new cells are being formed. So this is found in the urinary bladder. Which one? This kind of a transitional epithelium fully. Where it is found? It is found on the various area, like, just write it here. It is found on the urinary bladder. I already written here, urinary bladder. Second one is called the urethra. You can continue here. It is in the urethra. Okay, as well as uretus. Uretus, all this area, and even in the tube of pelvic area also it is being present. Okay, right. So this transition epithelium is also called as urothelium. Don't forget it. It is also called as urothelium. This is not in the book, so you can note it down. Urothelium is present in the urinary bladder, urethra, uretus, so it is called the urothelium. Okay, so one part is completed, that is your epidermal tissues are completed. The second tissue, tomorrow we will concentrate on the connective tissues, and then we will complete with muscular and nervous tissue. Okay, right. Thank you.